Shiny hunting in Pokemon games combines my two favorite things, tedium and gambling. And this Pokemon game in particular is really good for shiny hunting. So good for it, in fact, that I'm just gonna get 20 of them in one video. One from every single one of these wild zones. Also, since I have completed the entire game, there will be a lot of spoilers. So, keep that in mind. Anyway, since I have the shiny charm,
they made me do 1,000 pounds for this thing.
The odds of one of these mons being off-colored is about 1 in 1,000 and something. But even without it, getting shinies in this game is so easy. I've already got 14 of them. My favorite is this random Drampa that just showed up on a gazebo. I called the Drampa Orange Joe. My second favorite is this alpha shiny Aegislash that showed up from under the remnants of the Eiffel Tower. I called him Pointy Peach. Wild Zone 1, where we can encounter such highlights of the Pokedex like Fletchling and Weedle. I start repeatedly walking along this path over and over again. Alpha Pokemon are really funny. So every time I walk down this path, I'm seeing a lot of Pokemon, and at a rate of 1 in 1,000, this isn't gonna take long. In fact, after only 16 measly minutes of walking down a public footpath, I find a mildly disgruntled white rabbit. Joe, get out the frame! I catch it, and I call it Bucket because it's white. Apparently he is quirky and nods off a lot. What a lazy bum. Well, you can nod off a lot in the boxes where you will spend the rest of time. Wild Zone 2, featuring such classics like Magikarp, a rat, and I really want a shiny Mega Starmie. What a chucklesome creature. This is probably one of the nicer wild areas in my opinion, with its luscious brown water and its... Oh. This took 2 minutes to find. As I photograph this sulfur-covered fish, I neglect this big message that tells me it's about to become night, which, resets all the spawns. But it's fine, because shinies save in this game anyway. You literally...
What the fuck?
Why are you orange? Well, 2 wild zones in and I've already fumbled a fish. Or have I? Because I come back the next day and the golden fish is just there again. Thank God. Don't know what I would have done if I had to spend another 2 minutes walking around a pond. Guess the shiny carp just clocked off for the night. I named this Magikarp Cardiac Arrest because I thought he went into it during the cutscene and passed away. Damn right he's bloody naughty, scaring me like that. Don't think just because you're golden, you won't be sent to the local chippy. The only thing that'll be golden about you will be all the curry sauce that gets slathered on you. Also, I hate how the camera overlay thing can't be removed. It looks like the carp's about to get assassinated. Anyway, Wild Zone 3, with such icons of media like this goofy looking cat and the industry plant rat. But the real star of Wild Zone 3 isn't any of these. It's actually the staircase. You can literally just hold down the analog stick and it will just re-roll all of the spawns in this area. I literally put a weight on my analog stick and start writing a script for a different video for half an hour. This is the easiest shiny hunting method of all time. At least the community days in Pokemon Go require you to actually touch the screen. In half an hour, I come back, walk down the stairs for a final time, and immediately spot a shiny Skiddo. But look over here, it's a shiny Flabébé! 2 shinies in oh. 2 more shiny Litleos as well. In half an hour of doing literally nothing, I have obtained 4 shiny Pokemon. I called a Skidoo Pickles because it looks like it has pickles growing out of its neck, which are apparently hiding a rash. The Flabébé is called Floob. Then we have Garfield and Nermal. One is impetuous and silly, and the other likes to fight. The duality of mankind. Wild Zone 4. Why is this a wild zone? Imagine trying to pay respects to, like, your deceased relative, and then you get jumped by a flying switchblade instead of walking up and down like a foolish pedestrian. Yeah, I don't really want to walk past that. Who has time for that? Just sit here, sit back and relax and repeatedly fly to this area and it just gives you shinies. Like this Ghastly. It's called Gassy Gary now. I'd love to turn this guy into a shiny Mega Gengar. But they removed the bloody link cable because I hate offline players. You need to buy Nintendo Online if you ever want to see Slowking again. Hold on. There's a green guy. Green snake. All fun and games until they bring out the Walter Worms. I named this little green snake Clancy, who is somewhat of a clown. Wild Zone 5. We got pigeons, pea shooters, and peeds. But the real prize of Area 5 is this big Bellsprout. I caught this guy at the start of the game and it just steamrolled through most of it because I could instantly make it a victory bell. So this time I try and do the iconic anti-homeless bench method where you sit on a bench for weeks on end until a shiny Pokemon appears, which is really funny that you can just AFK farm most of the shinies in this game. However, it turns out the big Bellsprout is just out of range of the bench, so I solemnly start the walk of shame through the dimly lit streets of Zone 5 and there's a shiny Bellsprout after less than 1 minute. I mean, it's not the big one, but it's a Bellsprout nonetheless. And I shall dub the pea shooter. I have the humor of a 4-year-old. Now we move on to Wild Zone 6, and we are after one guy. This giant Houndoom. I have grown a massive appreciation of Houndoom recently because it reminds me of Sutek from Doctor Who. But why get a Sutek when you can get a Bluetech? And guess what? This upstanding, kind citizen decided to start a cafe here, which I can repeatedly fly to, and guess who's in the radius? After about 10 minutes of this, I check all the spawns and... Yellow. Does that count? It's not even in the wild area, it's outside. Video is called Getting a Shiny from Every Wild Area, not getting a shiny from just down the road from every wild area. Anyway, I call him Repeater because... Anyway, nothing shows up for like half an hour, but then 10 minutes after the last time I check, and the dog! Big blue dog, blue tech is real. It's really funny how the government just put a giant horse-sized dog with devil horns on this road. Anyway, catching this thing was a nightmare, but luckily I have Gary's Dose, who delivers the exact dosage of damage to the Houndoom to let me capture it easier, because Gary always gets the right dose. But wait, there's more! Red thing, a Meditite, more like Redditite. Why does Gimmighoul kind of look like the Reddit avatar? Also, this exact same Bellsprout is back again, fully completed the Jaundice Bellsprout line, but which P will get to don the title of a fat sack of lard? None of them, because I didn't evolve any of them. They're all just still Bellsprouts. I hope we don't get any more because there's no 4 Peter. Anyway, give me that damn stone. I need it. I need to make my blue dog even larger. Isn't Modest like really good for Houndoom and its special attacks? Wild Zone 7, and I will literally take anything except this sodding hippo. I hate this hippo. Why are you here? Not only were you in the previous Legends game, but you've got no Mega Stone. You're not from Gen 6. What's the point of you? Anyway, I sit on a bench for like 40 minutes. Literal months go by with my hideous looking character sat on this bench staring at the birds. I come back and there's some sort of big green thing on the tree. A shiny alpha Kakuna. 2 alpha shinies in a row. I call it Grong. Yeah, Grong is the name of this Kakuna now because it reminds me of those dog toys. They're called Kongs. It's green. Grong. I also do a quick perimeter search around the area and discover this peculiar pigeon perched atop a post. I call it Gammy. Wild Area 8 is a horrid war zone. Cannot do anything in here without being harassed by moles and crocodiles. A putrid place of... I haven't done any resets. That was the first one. Where is it? I can't find it. So I started frantically checking all the molehills to see if it was one of them until I see this jaundice-afflicted crocodile shoveling dirt into its mouth. So I pursue this Alimish lizard until doming it on the head with a Pokeball and running away from this hellhole. Will gladly take that. I call it One Dial because it's a Sandile I got in one try. He's just 1 dial away. Wild Zone 9 with Pokemon like Mawile, Carbink, and Sableye in huge numbers. I used this place to grind for those pink rocks when getting all the mega stones. However, much like Zone 6,
There's another blue dog.
an Alpha Manectric right next to a bench. How pleasant. Another quick round of sitting on a bench for half an hour, and I come back to a normal Manectric. But there is something else. A shiny Alpha Garbage. Another bloody shiny Alpha. I've gotten like 3 shiny Alphas in about an hour and a half. Again, we bring out Gary to deliver the right dose. Damn, almost overdosed there, Gary. But it's alright. Because we've caught Big Bink. Look how happy it is. I'd be happy if I looked like deep slate diamond ore. And now that brings us to Wild Zone 10, where Staryu's present in this location. And guess what? They put a bench here. I gleefully skip past the Freddy Fazbear sharks and start spending months of my life sleeping on a bench. That anti-homeless architecture didn't do anything. Anyway, I check after like half an hour and there's nothing. But a random Alpha Slowpoke just materializes out of nothing. Where'd you come from? I decide to actually put thought into shiny hunting this time and walk through the area. Oh my god, they're just all alphas. I'm seeing only one Staryu every single reset, and sometimes I just get harassed by an Alpha Slowpoke who keeps spamming Icy Wind, which just gets you. But eventually... Oh my god, a 4th one of these things, are you kidding me? Ugh! Should have just stuck with the hostile architecture. Wild Zone 11 is a lovely little riverbank filled with hot water bottles, blue lobsters, and this dog that I hate because they used to put them in the Pokemon Go weekly reward all the time. This used to give people legendaries. Anyway, half of the area is not accessible due to this big river, so I stick to the side that I could just teleport to. After only 20 minutes of walking, I find this, an orange cloncher. Looks like I'm gonna have to fight my way through this zone to get this guy. And who better to obtain the orange lobster than Orange Joe, who begins obliterating dogs with lightning bolts. I guess he had places to be. Anyway, the lobster just went to the other side of the river, so I teleport to Sutek's domain and go down the road a bit, freeze some Stunfisk to death, and grab the little bastard who I named Zoidberg because he's such a jolly fellow. Wild Zone 12 is the Frozen Wastes, featuring such Pokemon such as this owl and these tent-looking things. And would you look at that, a bench right in the middle of the lot of them. A perfect throne for me and Joe to rest upon until one of these frozen fools decides to start sparkling. After about 40 minutes, I come back and, okay. I'll take that shiny Alpha Abomasnow. Time for Gary to deliver the correct dosage. No, Gary, you've overdosed! No! Never mind, I just catch him immediately. I like how the mega of it looks like an angry gorilla with torches attached to him. Also, I call him Snowy Joe because he's snowy. And I was with Joey. However, in the basketball courts, there are 2 green men just bowling. The big one runs funny, so I call him the Green. The little one reminds me of the Sea Devils from Doctor Who. So I call it Sea Devil. Real ingenious. Zone 13.
Good God, man, move the mouse!
Which is a horrible alleyway filled with angry bugs. So I bring out Pointy Pete for some protection from this menace. But these are some pretty cool bugs. We got icons like Heracross, Cypher, and Pinsir in here. Vivian is also here. But when it turns to night, you get the evil ghost trees. So I would be happy with basically any shiny in this area except Cypher because I can't be bothered to get a metal coat and trade it and alpha. Fuck! I mean, I'll take it. There's nothing wrong with a bit of Cyphage. I call it Scimitide, and I know that sounds bad, but it is because it reminds me of a Spore Creature Creator piece. If I get a cleaver, I will call it the Toxic Telson.
Massive shout out to this horrendous looking Psyduck I made like 10 years ago.
Then we advance to the power plant area, which has Pokemon such as Aaron, Emolga, and the one I'm most interested in, this big mole. However, this area is slightly more difficult to shiny hunt in than most because there are 0 benches and only 1 exit. So I basically just walk in and walk out. Walking in and flying out is faster, but half the time this stupid little metal lizard goes, "Oi, what's that? You can't be in here, cowboy power plant." I'm trying to, but you won't let me. Why would you make a wild zone a power plant? What happens when one of these Aarons starts chewing through the wires? City-wide power outage because these morons decided to put 3 giant moles in the bloody power grid. Anyway, after about 30 minutes of walking in and discovering that I don't even need to walk that far to get the big mole to spawn, we see a saturated Emolga perched atop this, I don't know any electrical terminology, I'm just gonna call it a powerful brick. But anyway, I grab it, turn a corner, and see a bloodshot, red-eyed Aaron staring at me. So now we have Mudmolga in the Argos. Zone 15 is another thin alleyway with dozens of hostile Pokemon in it. Bees, bugs, ghosts, and giant pumpkins. Trying to catch this Alpha Gorgeist for the Dex was harrowing, but I don't care about that because there's a bench here. Apparently all the Pokemon just leave you alone if you sit on a bench. The anti-homeless bench is simply too terrifying. So I decided there's a ton of Pokemon here. What if I waited an entire hour on the bench? Imagine the amount of shinies I could... Nothing. There's nothing. Awesome. Or is there? Because at night there was a green wheel. Due to the legions of hell descending upon me, I grabbed that thing and left. I evolved it into a Scolipede because I wanted to see what Mega Scolipede looks like. And it looks pretty cool. I called it Scoliosis. Zone 16 has Phalanx. I like Phalanx. Genuinely top 50 Pokemon of all time, and I get 4 of them spawned in just for walking through the front door. And not only that, but this frog is also present. Either way, I'm walking out of here with a great shiny.
Wait, Starmie's here as well? What the hell? I didn't even notice that!
And unsurprisingly, about 15 minutes later, a brown Phalanx is present. Trying to admire it is made difficult by all these plebeian Phalanx trying to stab me in the shins. So I bring out the Guardian of Life itself to rain hellfire upon them. Sadly, I do not consider the implications of using 1,000 arrows on a Phalanx standing directly next to the shiny one. But it's fine because we grab it anyway. And we name them the Shat Squad. Why does it make Goomba sounds when it moves? It's so amusing. Not as amusing as its mega form though. What? It's a really funny creature. Zone 17 gives you the experience of what it's like to be a small toddler that fell into the lion exhibit at a zoo. Because these 2 dumbasses decided to place a pride of fucking lions in a residential area. Genuinely, once these lions know you're here, they will stop at nothing until you are a red stain on the floor. Even atop this roof, you are not safe. Was this the fabled lion ladder? That the 1 billion lions versus every Pokemon people spoke of? The real question that people should be asking is 1 billion lions versus the anti-homeless bench. Because I could just sit here and not be bothered by them for months. As for the Pokemon around this bench that can be shiny, there's a lot of good ones, like this Alpha Mawile, or these lamps, or these keys, or the lion's aerial surveillance drone. But due to the sheer quantity of these feline freaks, it's probably gonna be one of them. Hopefully the Alpha, because it's a male one. I already have like 4 shiny females. Well, I did say I wanted an Alpha one to shine. We bring out Gary to give these lions the biggest dose of all. Oh. I guess I could just die in half a second, that works too. But Gary took out a decent chunk of the pride, so now they will suffer the wrath of my quick ball. That's your punishment. Stuck in the Homer Simpson ball. I forgot to mention I already have a shiny female Pyroar, so I guess I just have 2 of them now. This Mega's really bad. The shiny makes it look like it's dipped its face in gone off custard, so I call her Pie. Wild Zone 18, getting real close to the end now, and this zone has the Mence Menace itself and its 3 blue children. Since the Mence is what I desire most.
How is this mouse still on the screen? This isn't like a pirated copy. This is on an official Switch. OBS just puts the mouse on the screen.
I do about an hour of walking up to the gate, staring at a big lizard, and flying away until it turns green, which it never did. But then I realized something. This bench can give us the Mence and its children, these birds, or these bats, but not the Fennekin though, it's just out of range of the bench. If I want one of them, I can always take a trip to Spain and devour a BLT from Subway and get like 4 of them in an hour. Anyway, another half an hour of bench pressing and the Mence! The salad Mence! Because it's green! I accidentally throw a dive ball at it and, oh well. He's called Big Sao now, and to prove his loyalty, I make him destroy his own spawn. But it's fine, because I let him Mega Evolve into a croissant with suspenders, so it's a fair trade-off. And then sit on the bench until night again, and there's this green bat here, called Norbert now. And he likes to run, wouldn't know it from his stumpy little default blender cylinder legs. Zone 19, a beautiful little park. Now ruined because they filled it with giant lizards and rabid mutts. This is the place where I found Orange Joe all those 1 week ago. Could we get a second Orange Joe? After only a couple of minutes of strolling through the park, I hear that heavenly twinkle, Pokemon equivalent of crack. After too long spent trying to locate the source, Oh, it's the bloody mutt! I will give the mutt something. That's a pretty good shiny, but he could look better. No, I don't want to join your dog fighting ring. Just trim my hound. I give this through the Pharaoh's trim because I need more ancient Egyptian themed dogs. This guy's now called The Curse, because this side quest made me want to curse at my screen. Imagine going to a barber and they go, sorry mate, I can't give you that haircut. My bug's not learned the U-turn yet. And now we reach the final area of the game. Zone 20, the remnants of the Eiffel Tower. The area with the largest variety of spawns in the entire game. We got the starters, over-marketed squids, even giant piles of waste. But the real prize is beneath the tower itself, where every time you load into this area, 2 random alphas could just appear. This is the best shiny hunting spot in the game, because you never know what you're gonna get. This is where I found Pointy Pete. We could get a second Pete. So here's the tactic. We walk in, remove whatever hoodlums decide to interrupt my fast traveling, check these 2, fly back in, and repeat until one of them shines. So out of all of these alphas, which... Oh, I mean, I guess that's kind of cool. I'll call you Garg. But you know what? I'm not leaving this area until I get a shiny alpha. After about half an hour of running in and out, we get a random Malamar. Who the hell invited you? I call this Malamar hubris because I couldn't just accept the Gardevoir and leave. I had to get greedy, and thus I run in and out of this area again and again, killing these insolent little creatures every time they decide to come crawling back, and finally, we get a shiny Alpha Skarmory. A beautiful golden bird. And I think for the grand finale of this video, we're gonna blast this avian with the power of 1 billion supernovas. Oh, I thought you were stronger than that. Just kidding. I saved the game. I'm not an idiot. Turns out I should have always used Gary because he knows exactly what dose to give this bird, and the final shiny of this video has been caught and immediately ruined because I named him Skarter. And the best part, I don't have to shiny hunt Skarmory in the Tartarus of Lions. I Mega Evolve Skarter, giving him comically large talons, and test him out by obliterating his innocent Absol. And so in total, from all 20 areas, we ended up with 34 shinies, 7 of which being alpha Pokemon, in total spending about 13 hours shiny hunting. So that's like 2 to 3 an hour, which is pretty good. Got pretty lucky, I'd say. Now this is the first time I've ever done a video like this, so if you want me to do more of it, you need to let me know by liking the video. If this video does well, I'll be happy to do more Pokemon content, and if you don't subscribe, then Gary will give you an incorrect dosage. So, goodbye.